Hey guys, this is Advice from My Pool with anti-guru Sarah Knight. I am the author of the No Fucks Given Guides. My newest, Calm the Fuck Down, is coming out on December 31st, and you can go to my website for information on pre-ordering it if you so choose. This advice is dispensed from my pool in the Dominican Republic, where I live with my husband and 2 feral rescue cats and a shitload of lizards. And I am filming it during lunchtime because there is a lot of construction going on in my complex, and there are a lot of very loud men yelling in Spanish and power tools. So I'm hoping to get this in before they come back from lunch. Question number 1 in this episode of Advice from My Pool comes from a reader who asks, when there are just too many things to do, how do you concentrate? How do you get started? Perhaps this reader has not read my second book, Get Your Shit Together, because this question is addressed very specifically in that book. I advise you to break things down into small, manageable chunks. Life is like an adult coloring book. You just focus on filling in all of the little spaces until the big picture materializes before you. So if you have a big task or a big goal and you don't know where to begin, I suggest breaking it down into 5 or 10 smaller tasks and smaller goals. I think that you will find this extremely helpful advice. I know that it has worked on my own mother. Question number 2 is, what do you do to deal with anxiety when you're panicking and all worked up? There are a couple of different tips that I give in my new book called Calm the Fuck Down. And one of them, my favorite, is called Give Anxiety the Finger. And this really has to do with finding a hands-on task that you can engage in that distracts you from your anxiety. So for example, when I'm writing my book and I'm freaked out about it and I start to think I'm a fraud and that my editor's gonna hate everything, I stand up, I walk around, I go to the bush that you see directly behind you. It's a papyrus bush, I believe. And I just start pruning it with my kitchen scissors, and it really helps calm me down. So you could restring your guitar, you could stain your deck, you could take up knitting, but a hands-on activity I find distracts all of those thoughts in your brain from swirling around and making you anxious and panicky, and it gives you something else to focus on. So I say, give anxiety the finger. Okay, question number 3 in episode 2 of Advice from My Pool is, what are your top self-care tips for stress? You are looking at it. But seriously, everybody has their own self-care tips. It's for yourself. So mine might not work for you, but I really like bubble baths. I really like to get my nails done or paint my nails myself. I like to get in my pool. I like to sunbathe. And what else? That's about it. That's pretty much all I do to combat stress. But for you, you might like to go for a run. I would never do that, but it might work for you. Remember, especially when you're scrolling through all the Instagram stories of all the wellness bloggers that you follow, that not everything that works for someone else is necessarily going to work for you. And that you should really take ownership of your own self-care tactics and, do whatever makes you feel better in the moment. Anyway, I am going to continue my version of self-care by staying in my pool. And I will come back to you next time with episode 3 of Advice from My Pool and more questions from readers. And until then, I would encourage you to visit my website, nofucksgivenguides.com, and you can find out all about the new book, Calm the Fuck Down, which is all about managing stress and anxiety. Any other books, for example, Get Your Shit Together, if you think you need that. And also sign up for my newsletter, which, well, I guess you already did sign up for my newsletter because you're watching this, and Advice from My Pool is exclusive to my newsletter subscribers. So thank you. This has been Advice from My Pool with anti-guru Sarah Knight.